Now, a juvenile court in France is beginning the trial of 6 minors today for their alleged connections to the murder of a French teacher 3 years ago. Samuel Paty taught history and geography at a school in a Parisian suburb. He'd used the controversial cartoons depicting the Prophet Mohammed, which appeared in the Charlie Hebdo magazine, to discuss free speech laws in France with his students. He was killed and then beheaded by a radical Islamist outside his school in October 2020, which caused an outpouring of grief in France. The perpetrator, an 18-year-old man of Chechen origin, was shot dead by police. Now, the Paris court is now examining the role of 6 others. DW correspondent Lisa Louis is following the story for us from Paris. Hi there, Lisa. Can you tell us what exactly are these teenagers on trial today accused of?
Well, one of the teenagers is the young girl who alerted her father that Samuel Paty had shown cartoons of the Prophet Mohammed in class. She said the teacher had asked Muslim students to leave the room and that she had stood up to him saying, "No, I'm not going to do this," and that's why she was excluded temporarily from school. Turned out that account of events was wrong. She did not even attend the class. She just wanted to justify that she had been excluded from school in front of her father. But her father got so angry about this that he started to go to the school, ask for an apology. He published a video, and that video was seen by the assailant, the 18-year-old radicalized man who lived 80 kilometers away from school. That man then drove to school one day and asked one pupil, one of the other accused, to show him who Samuel Paty was. That pupil asked 4 of his friends to help him in this endeavor. And so they helped the assailant to identify who Samuel Paty was, where there was CCTV camera. They, so to say, helped him carry out his attack. Now, investigators think that they did not know what would happen afterwards, but they could have seen, actually, that this man had a malicious intent. So the minors in front of the court, which is happening behind closed doors, could face 2.5 years in prison.
Can you give us a sense of how this trial is being seen in France? Is it getting a lot of attention?
I think people will be watching this trial. Mind you, as I said, it's happening behind closed doors. We will not know many of the details of what will be said in front of the court over the coming 2 weeks. However, there is, for example, a group of teachers who aim to become civil plaintiffs to be able to listen in, actually, to the hearings and to get to know more about what, many people here are asking themselves. How did this happen? Why did these pupils actually tell the assailant who Samuel Paty was, instead of saying, hang on a minute, something is happening here and I need to alert the teacher I know, instead of that man who seems a bit mad or crazy, as they told the investigators, and help him carry out whatever he's planning. So the teachers want to know more about what happened, how pupils can actually adhere to such a way of thinking, and many people here in France will be wondering the same thing.
Lisa, can you tell us if this has focused the French government's efforts on combating Islamist extremism and terrorism in France? And what is the government doing exactly to combat violent crimes like this?
Well, obviously, many people here were shocked in France when this happened in 2020. You remember maybe that just a few weeks ago, another teacher was killed here in France, in northern France, in Arras, by also a radicalized Islamist. So the government is trying to think about ways to prevent things like this from happening. The anti-terror alert is currently on its highest level here in France, and there are also ways to alert the authorities about pupils with suspicious behavior. You know that France has a very particular way of secularism. And that's also valid in schools. Pupils are not allowed to wear any religious symbols. And if there is, if people are showing suspicious behavior, pupils are showing suspicious behavior, teachers are being asked to alert the authorities about that. Obviously, teachers are also at the forefront of fighting this phenomenon, and they're wondering how to do this, because many of them feel now that there is some kind of sword of Damocles hanging above their head while they're trying to de-radicalize maybe radicalized pupils here in France.
Lisa, thanks so much. That's DW's Lisa Louis reporting from Paris.